This story, Knuffle Bunny, gives you an idea of what life is like in this city. The illustrations in this book have cartoon characters and photographs of New York City. The illustrator won an award for his illustrations, the pictures in this book. It's the Caldecott Award. It's that silver medal on the cover. After we listen to the story, we're going to make our own Knuffle Bunny style illustrations.
Knuffle Bunny. A Cautionary Tale by Mo Williams. Not so long ago, before she could even speak words, Trixie went on an errand with her daddy. Trixie and her daddy went down the block, through the park, past the school, and into the laundromat. Trixie helped her daddy put the laundry into the machine. She even got to put the money into the machine. Then they left. But a block or so later, Trixie realized something. Trixie turned to her daddy and said, "Aggle flaggle clabble." "That's right," replied her daddy. "We're going home." "Aggle flaggle clabble," said Trixie again. "Blaggle plabble, wumpy flappy, snurp." "Now, please don't get fussy," said her daddy. Well, she had no choice. Trixie bawled. Wah! She went boneless. She did everything she could to show how unhappy she was. By the time they got home, her daddy was unhappy too. As soon as Trixie's mommy opened the door, she asked, "Where's Knuffle Bunny?" The whole family ran down the block, and they ran through the park. They zoomed past the school and into the laundromat. Trixie's daddy looked for Knuffle Bunny, and looked, and looked, and looked. But Knuffle Bunny was nowhere to be found. So Trixie's daddy decided to look harder. Until Knuffle Bunny! And those were the first words Trixie ever said.
We saw so many different places in this city based on the pictures in this book. Now let's draw ourselves walking around the city. For today's lesson, you'll need your first grade related arts packet, scissors, glue, and crayons. You're going to go in here. We've been talking about the city, right? We talked about the city artist, Keith Haring, and then you see some pictures of the city. This is a city street with the big buildings. See how they're close together? There's lots of windows and they go really high up into the sky. And their roads have lots of lanes for the many cars to drive on. Usually these roads are filled with cars and lots of people. That's a picture of the city street. This is a city park. This is Central Park. In the middle of the city, there's this big park, so people that live in the city have somewhere nice outside to go and enjoy their time. And you could see the big buildings, the skyscrapers around the park. And this picture is the houses. There's the sidewalk, and these are the houses that are so close together on the city street. These are called brownstone. They're made of stone, and there's one house and steps leading to each one. So you can pick a city picture, whichever one you want, and then you're going to draw your portrait. Pretend you're walking in that city picture. So I'm going to pull this out of my Related Arts packet. And then I'm going to take one piece of paper from the back and pull that out. And I'm going to put up my city picture off to the side. And on this one, I'm going to draw a picture of myself walking. Remember, we don't want to do stick figures, just lines. We want ourselves to look a little bit like shapes. So we could do a rectangle for our body, a circle or an oval for our head, and then rectangles for our legs. And I'm going to put it at a diagonal to make it look like I'm walking. One going forward, one going back, one arm going forward, one arm going back, even bent, like you're walking. And then you're gonna do a side perspective, only one eye, a side perspective of the nose, which is like a backwards letter L. And then you can add details like your eyebrows, half of a smile, and then you can do your hair. And remember, do you have long curly hair? Do you have a long line for your long straight hair like me? Do you need short lines for your short hair? Do you have bangs? What does your hair look like? After you do your hair, you're going to draw in your favorite toy, or maybe it's a toy that you want Santa to bring. So let me think what my favorite toy might be. It's not really a toy, it's a paint set. So maybe in my hand I'll put a paint set. You could put maybe a bear in your hand. You can put a truck or a car. Maybe it's your video games. Put what you like in your hand. I'm gonna have a paint palette in mine. Then I'm going to cut this out. Oh, I should probably add some hands and some feet. Right, all of those details. And then I'm going to color this in and cut it out. Glued my bright illustration lower on the page. I'm big as the buildings because I'm closer and lower on the page, closer to the picture. And I'm walking across the street, and you can see the big buildings are smaller because they're further in the back. Once you glue your colorful picture walking in the city with your favorite toy, hold it up. I can't wait to see what you made.